All right, good morning, everybody. This is Kel once again on 13th of April. Today is Tuesday. It will be our Super Tuesday, all right? Super Tuesday means that we could do our revision. But today's revision will be very special. We will do our usual half an hour of going through the, thank you for all the loves. Okay, right. We will be doing the normal half an hour with revise on how to use the TWB system. And then after that, we go to a very, very different sharing today is how to be a successful trader. And of course, the guy that we are going to try to mimic in a way is this guy called CIS. This guy is a legendary trader. He used 30,000 US dollars to make hundreds of millions of dollars. Really real, this is real life story, okay? So I basically get a lot of stuff for you in prepare for this. So 2 p.m. Singapore time, please come online and I will share this with you. All right, it's only for our TWB members only. Okay. All right, let's start our morning MAO sharing right now. Let me start my screen up and we begin. All right, now we can see pretty clear today's the caption is we want to see inflation move up to 2%. Now, who said this statement, all right? Obviously, we know the answer is Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell has been very clear on what he wants to see. Apparently, just a few months ago, he was saying that you will not see 2%. And he said that after that, a few weeks later, he said that it's difficult to see 2%. Now, Jerome Powell said that he wants to see 2%. Okay, so you can see that basically this is how the Federal Reserve shift their goalposts as and when they want. And we just have to follow, right? So let's take a look. Now, this is from Jerome Powell. One thing he's not worried is inflation, apparently. He says that now it's running about 1.6%, and it's well below the 2% mark. All right, from the way the Federal Reserve calculate their inflation, of course, it's going to be well below because, I mean, for years, it's at 1.4 to 1.6%, regardless how much costs have increased to us, daily necessity, but to him himself or to the whole entire Federal Reserve, it's only 0.2% increment, okay? And we're talking about United States of America, whereby they printed so much money and you're telling people that the inflation is about 1.6%. I mean, it's really a laugh, honestly. So anyway, come to inflation, Jerome Powell says that it's on track to see a moderate above 2% soon. And when you get that itself, right, that's where we will raise rates. Okay, so take note of that. That is where he says, right, only when you go above 2%, then you will raise rates. So at the moment now, there's nothing to be worried, of course. But if you look at our Singapore prices, now I try to get something closer to 2020, but really cannot get. Okay, so this is the closest I can get is 2013 to 2018 in just Singapore alone. I think we can ask any student, okay, ask any young student and ask them, can you calculate in terms of this inflation, in terms of price difference? I think it's very clear, it's an average about 3 to 5%. But of course, as I said, this is Singapore and food necessity is not part of inflation for Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve, in terms of calculation of inflation, is minus away energy costs and food prices. So basically, it's not the same. So that is how they see it. So yesterday, I was buying fruit juice for my little kids. Okay, and I saw that just 2 months ago, the fruit juice cost about $2.50. Okay, those heartland places as they do juices for you, right? So one cup is for $2.50. But yesterday when I go there itself, right, the store owner conveniently, the tool that he has, okay, I mean, it's something like this, okay? You know, this is like, he wrote there, the fruit juice is $2.50, right? That was what he charged last time, okay? So he just conveniently did this. You saw that? Yeah, I'll do it again, you miss it. He just conveniently just go to the $2.50, right? And just move it down to $3. Okay, so, wow. Straight away, it's not $1, right? And $1 of $2.50 itself is almost 40%. Oh my God, this is a big jump, right? And can I don't buy? No, my kids still need to have their juices, so we bought it. So now the prices really is going up, and I really like it or not itself, it's really coming up. All right. So guys, there's two ways to combat inflation. One is that you just live with it. The other one is to make money in the market. All right, and then that's all, because they will not change the price. You still have to eat, you still have to drink, you have to use to buy and stuff. So you just have to make more money. It's the only way out. So are we clear with that? Yeah, this is what happens when you come with inflation. You cannot run away, undeniable. So today, the later part, the second segment, right? As I told you guys, I would always do a preview of what we'll share in the second segment. I'll talk about the NASDAQ and the NAAD, which is the advanced decline indicator. I'll also talk about another indicator called the Maxillin, and after that, I'll tell you about the high yield bounce, and of course the very important thing about this Bitcoin and gold interrelationship. All right. So if you like this sharing, you stay on all the way until the second part of MAO. But if you think that this is not this is something that you doesn't want to hear about this, you can just skip it all together. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, the thing is this, the S&P 500 have been up for 12 straight days already. No, seriously, we are shorting S&P based on rules, okay? Based on rules, when you break the pivots and stuff. We do make some money, but in the end of the day, is that after we make some money, we basically, the market go back up again. So for 12 days in a row now, this is something not since January 2013. So that was a time where the market was going up all the way, right? So we're talking about the last 8 years, okay? This is the first time in 8 years that the S&P is up by 12 days in a row. And we say up itself is not the positive closing to positive closing. We're talking about the market, once it opened, it closed above OP. Now that is very positive. So is it because the market is full of buyers, or the market is pretty so positive, or the market itself is just so strong? I'll leave you to guess, okay? But to me, it's all right. This is what we are seeing now. So even you're a short seller, if you lose money during this period of time, it's understandable because you're basically in this type of movement right now. Unbelievable, right? 12 longest streak ever since 2013. Oh my God. Okay, so why the thing is this? Because Jerome Powell and Yellen, they are not afraid of, they just basically make sure that price discovery is not really found. So they keep on basically cover their tracks. So at one moment they're saying this, then one say that, end of the day they just don't care, don't bother. And I've said this before to you, they don't really bother what's going to happen in the market. They just make sure that the economy is recovering, and that is their main job. I think that is fair. If you're in their position with the power of money, right? Obviously you do whatever it takes to just make sure the economy is doing well. So I don't deny that they're doing it wrong. It's just that, right, there is a price to pay for everything. There's always a price for everything. All right, so there's a little joke here itself. You see, this is the joke of the candle that's down, right? Then obviously that basically piece of Jerome Powell. So he came in to pump in a lot of money by rolling out the money, and of course the S&P or the market reversed on the candle all the way to green. So this is a joke, don't take it too seriously, but I'm just telling you that it is what the market interpreted, because the market, the way it recovers, is always out of nowhere. I mean, if there's positiveness, there's some buying, we can see, understandable as a trader. But when you just out of nowhere, the buying just come in and it's just pump all the way up to close at a high, always in the last hour, last half an hour, it's become pointless really. It's just like telling you yourself, you just don't need to worry, just buy, okay? All right, so that's why we use the TWB system, because there's only one side in the market. It's not the bull, it's not the bear, but being the right side. So if the market want to buy, you just take the buy side. If the market want to sell, you sell on the sell side. There's nothing else you can actually consider, because the market is no longer going with valuation. It's no longer going with trend. It's just basically going on manipulation. All right, so that is my personal take of this market. And that's why we keep on reminding you, just follow the system. It will be much, much better and easier, okay? All right, so everyone must motivate one another. At time of bad itself, we need to motivate one another. And that's why this morning I received a very nice text message from some student. Basically, she's telling me that, right, Kelvin, don't worry, right? Whatever it is, just push on, you can make it and stuff like that. So everyone must choose one of the two pains, all right? The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I went through the pain of regret, and that's why I don't want to go through this again. So it is difficult to be disciplined, but once you get used to it and once you are able to do it right, it will help. So everyone, we are human. We will make error and make mistake. But as long as, remember, life is a boomerang, all right? You give what you give, you get, right? So imagine how you throw the boomerang, same concept, right? So it is like that, okay? It always comes back to you. So if you think that by doing wrong things is correct, then just accept it when the things come back to you again. Now, maybe it will come back later. It may come back, much, much later. But I tell you this, karma is a bitch, okay? It really comes back. So for traders, the same thing. If you think that now you don't take risk control, you think you're okay, but when things goes wrong itself, you come and bite you. That is always the case, all right? So that is why we need to motivate and strengthen and support one another, okay? So before we start this morning MAO, once again, we need to do disclaimer as usual. All right, do note losses is part and parcel of trading, okay? Please don't expect that I'll give you 100% tips or trading advices. If I'm going to give you 100% advices, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. I should be on CNBC, on Bloomberg, all right? And even on there itself, I'll be wrong. So guys, please make sure that you use as a learning aid and also carefully consider your current financial condition, okay? All right, so if you accepted this, we'll continue, all right? 1, 2, 3, okay, continue. All right, now the thing is, as I told you guys, by tomorrow or latest Thursday, AIM should be ready with an exchange to provide good trading spread, and we are all waiting because our traders are trading, and the result is pretty incredible. Now, yesterday for our trading team, initially we make some money, then we lost a bit, then we made back again. I mean, that is how it is for trading. End of the day, you make money, and that is something that we all want to see, all right? So that's why I'm very confident that this business will go very, very far. And then, of course, there are people getting concerned, asking like, hey, Cal, do you think that this type of article will give a dampener? Well, apparently the CEO of a top Bitcoin exchange, which is Kraken, all right, came in and said that, right, there could be some crackdown on cryptocurrency. Now, do understand this. When you say crackdown, now do note there are many cryptocurrency now ongoing. And I saw some cryptocurrency is up by 50%, 100% in just multiple days. I remember there's one counter, I can't remember the name exactly now. It started at about $31. In just a few months, it's already $500 now. Oh my God. We are talking about basically, 12 times in just 2 months? I mean, this is really outright manipulation now. There's nothing, the smart contract itself doesn't really tell you or yield you much thing, but because people just go crazy. So you cannot deny that if Janet Yellen, right, because she is now the treasury, come and tell you that, hey, be careful. And of course, Christine Lagarde, she also tell you that, hey, be careful money laundering and stuff like that. So I cannot deny this. There is a possibility that a crackdown on some cryptocurrency, but definitely not on a major. You tell me on a major like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I'm so sorry. I don't think so. Like, I can be totally wrong. Maybe I'm not correct, but I'm talking about ridiculous stuff. Indeed, like Kelza, you say like this XRP ripples, and also some cryptocurrency give fixed return. Oh my God. Of course, I mean, a lot of MLM Ponzi is going on right now. Definitely, a lot of Ponzi is going on right now using MLM, Ethereum, or this what's that one called? Tron and stuff like that. This is very normal. I mean, when it's unregulated itself, right, it's going to have that, okay? So definitely money laundering is part and parcel of usual stuff, I tell you that. So undeniable, I believe there will be a crackdown on those coins that has really got nothing on. But I tell you this, if those coins get hit, definitely there'll be a knee-jerk effect. That means Bitcoin, Ethereum will be hit at the same time. But when these guys are out of the thing, that means that the remaining traders will know that, okay, this is bad. They'll go back to something that is good. It's just like in the market itself. When the stock market is rising up itself, right, and it's going up all the way, the blue chip will do well, but the penny counter will go crazy, okay? Excuse me. But when the regulation comes in, authorities comes in, the whole market will pull back down. It is normal. But then after that, the small caps or the penny counter will be out of the game, and then the blue chip will be back to the darling of it, and everybody buys up again. So this one you must remember, it will actually happen. Okay, all clear on that? If everybody is clear, can you key the word clear, CLEAR? All right, to basically tell me that you're clear and you understand about what I'm sharing right now on the crackdown on cryptocurrency. Because I mean, definitely recently we have been coming very strongly on doing cryptocurrency. And of course, people have been warning me, hey, Kel, be careful, this, or that. I understand, my friend. I totally understand. And I do my research too. So I appreciate all your advices. But still, you cannot deny that cryptocurrency will be part of our life very soon. I'm very confident that in the next 5 years, okay, 5 years, we will be paying money through crypto. We won't be paying through fiat currency anymore. I'm very serious that 5 years, not now, not tomorrow, but 5 years from now. Okay, so this is very, very important. You must accept changes. Just like people telling me last time that you're telling me that diskette will never be taken away because diskette production is so heavy and stuff like that. But I'm telling you this, after what happened, when the USB came in or the Blu-ray came in, that's it, they went off. Okay. So, of course, someone tell me that is cryptocurrency a scam. Now, you had to understand this. Cryptocurrency is a general term. It's about certain currency like Bitcoin. Then let's look at Bitcoin as a comparison. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Now, this is the Bitcoin, the tulips, and the soft seed company and NASDAQ. Now, during the NASDAQ run, I mean, not NASDAQ, NASDAQ is not a scam, but I'm talking about during the NASDAQ run. So you can see over here, right, guys? Okay. Now, the one in red is the tulip mania, right? That happened in 1634 to 1637. So it was a 3 years mania. The mania was crazy because the tulip belt basically went up by almost 12 times in just 3 years. So of course that was the first time human got crazy over something. It was never about the tulip. It was just about how much you can barter trade the tulip. So of course after that the market collapsed back to zero rise it. Okay, so that is tulip mania. Then after we come to this South Sea China company, whereby also 3 years, this company, the stock price went crazy again. All right, the upside wasn't as high as crazy as the tulip mania, but it created a lot of people jumping in. And after that, when it crashed down, right, loads of wealth was just destroyed. And of course, that triggered, in a way, indirectly, a very big selling in the market, okay, back in 17th century, okay? So after that, 20 years down, 200 years later, we're talking about the NASDAQ, right? Where the NASDAQ basically was being pumped up all the way with the .com and stuff like that, okay? But of course, it also later on fizzled out. But this one was still there. Now look at Bitcoin. Now this is a Bitcoin chart right now. Yes, indeed, the mania is ridiculous. We're talking about really cents level all the way to tens of thousands of dollars. But you must understand the time period. It's already ongoing to probably the 9 to 10 year already, right? In terms of where it started. So seriously, if you're talking about this is going to be a problem, then I think that we haven't seen it yet. So normally when we see as a mania is about 3 years to 4 years, okay? That is what it usually is, or the most about 9 years. But we're talking about Bitcoin, it is already still there. And by the way, this chart is old. This 1002019. Now the market is even higher. Okay. So imagine in 2019, you tell people that this is actually a scam and it won't work. That time Bitcoin was only, let's say, about $10,000. And now it's at $58,000 to $60,000, 6 times your profits. So guys, seriously, you just had to move on in life, all right? So I really hope, honestly, that there will be a pullback. If there's a crackdown on cryptocurrency as a whole, I think it'll be lovely. I think it'll be a lovely thing to happen. And then after that, we can buy it cheap, okay? So that's why I say, save some money, wait for it. If it ever comes down, happen. If not, just trade. Use the KCX indicator and just trade daily. You should make some money and prepare yourself, okay? All right, so let's just go to global news right now. The market braces for key inflation because today it will come out. Okay, today all the inflation data, the CPI. Now the CPI is expected to go higher. It's very clear. It cannot run away. So food prices is definitely going up in America. It's very clear because lesser people are doing agriculture because of the COVID and because that relatively when you pump in so much money in the system itself, right, prices will go up. So of course you can see that this is the last 60 years or 70 years of the consumer price index, but you realize that it's still at the low end. That's why Federal Reserve say, don't worry, it's still at 1.6%. The only time it went past 1.6%, and that was back in the 1960s time, where it went to as high as 12%. And during the period of time, of course, you saw the market was actually very bad because that was hyperinflation, all right? So now at the moment, it seems that it's at the lower end. So is that, don't you feel that it's a bit of manipulation here? Well, it looks like to me, all right? So I saw the article and I really want to laugh. Okay, it said this, we expect services to pick up in Q3 and Q4. Now, if you are wrong in that forecast and that happens sooner, we could see elevated inflation for the rest of the year. So it's like telling you that if it's not coming in, it's expected. If it's coming in, we just expect, you just know it. So it's like, to me, like, just say, you say and don't say no different. Anyway, this is from the article. All right. So Federal Reserve is just saying this. This guy, now that one was a lady. This is the guy. I like this quote very much. Okay. Federal official can utter the word transitory until they are blue in the face. I like this quote, okay? But how will they know? Number one. Number two, will the market participant still get nervous despite the Fed reassurance? All right, so apparently it's all right. The inflation reading reached level not seen for a very long time. That means that for a long time, it's at that level I just saw, right? So this guy, the economist from this particular hedge fund, I believe, says that it's buckle up, it could be a bumpy ride. Now, why is it bumpy and not why is it going to be a big ride? Because you must understand, if the CPI numbers come out and it's going to be high, so obviously it means things are going well. So companies' earnings are supposed to be better. So that's why it's going to be positive for the stock market. But on the flip side itself, right, of course, when prices higher, cost increases, then earnings may be affected. Consumer purchase power may reduce, especially if the dollar depreciate. So it become like having it is good, not having it is also good. It's just like basically in short itself, right? You sell this wonton mee example for $4 and you have a good crop coming in on a regular basis. So after that, you realize that all your prices, your raw ingredient all increases, right? So you have no choice. You sell it at $5 just to maintain the same profit that you have at $4. But then again, when we put at $5, straight away it's a 25% increment to the consumer, which is $1, which people can afford. But just people feel that, hey, you know what, $5, I don't want to eat. So to you, you just increasing the price just to make the same amount of profits for the $4 level. But because of that itself, right, people don't want to eat. Hence, therefore, you lose sales, okay? But on a flip note, if people still continue to eat, then of course your earnings technically have went up in terms of number, in terms of value, but not really in terms of profit. So again, this is all this little thing that people get, you need to really do a very strike a balance between them. So that's the point here that you need to watch, okay? So we will watch this tonight, okay, at 8:30 a.m., 8:30 p.m. So stand by for this. As I said again, a high CPI is expected, but if they're going to do manipulation, then this is also not something that we not going to be like stunned about this. Now, the only thing that I express a lot of concern, okay, only thing I express a lot of concern is the COVID. I understand that, you realize that nowadays the mainstream media hardly talk about the COVID cases anymore. But you cannot deny one thing is that the numbers are really increasing. So if the number increases and the CPI numbers goes up, right, this will not gel properly. And this is where this will give the market a very good reason to just take some profit. So apparently it's in Michigan, there is a lot of things happening over there. Apparently the cases are increasing in Michigan. So I go deeper for this. Apparently the daily vaccination is increasing. So it's really good, right? But the problem is that the country is still also increasing number of cases, and it's still going at 70,000 cases every day. Oh my God. Imagine Singapore has 70,000 cases in one single day. I think all of us will flip, okay? All right. So apparently the professor says that the vaccine seems to protect against some COVID variant, but not others, which means that, right, oh no, there's a problem here. Yes, it may protect against this COVID variant, but it may not for the other. And this is the case right now. You realize that the moving average was actually able to hold it and bring it down from January to March. But the last 2 weeks, you can see that the current cases are actually mounting above the moving average already. So is it a problem? Is it because the vaccination is not strong enough? Was it the variant is causing a problem in America, but they're keeping quiet? Well, I leave it to you to decide, okay? My job is just to translate the data to you. So in Michigan, you can see that the numbers are spiking in this type of way. In just one single day, the numbers are just spiking like that. And of course, the crazy part is this. The number of deaths in America also spiked up, right? You can see that's a very incredible spike up recently. So this is where the concern comes in again. So obviously the stock market now is buying on anticipation that the economy will reopen and everybody will be back to normal, but that is buying and pricing in. So even though now this quarter there'll be a lot of earnings coming up, but I need to remind you guys, these earnings now, the most of the prices are already priced in. So you will actually see prices actually the earnings will be good, the price may gap up, but it may not have follow-through effect. So that's why I need you to be very careful for this month itself, okay? And that's why this coming Saturday, I have my preview and I coded it as market madness, okay? So this time, I'm going to have a lot of powerful charts that I actually collected. And these charts are not going to be available on mainstream media, I can guarantee you this. But it came from Bloomberg. So that's why it's trustworthy. So this so-called preview come workshop, right? Preview come sharing, I'll put it this way. Please bring your friends down. Bring all your friends down for this. At least even they don't want to go for my course after that, don't worry. At least the first half an hour, try to absorb as much information from me as possible, because you really need to protect yourself already. I'm not going to remind you again, because you need to brace yourself. Don't hold back. Things can get very, very scary. And of course, if you can benefit from it, it'll be even better. Okay. So market madness, please be standby for this Saturday at 10 a.m. All right. Okay. Tons of important charts. I tell you that. Really tons of important charts. Okay. So let's look at the Dow Jones as okay. Now it's 9:12. So Hang Seng open soon. Okay. Now the Dow Jones, you can see, is again was sideways throughout the whole day, 50-point range. Oh my God, really 50-point range, crazy. But again, you can see in the last half an hour, look at the way the Dow pushed up, right, from about 680 push it up to 700 to 800 level. So you see, it's like that. They have not changed much at all. They just keep on doing this almost every night. Okay, indeed, Arun, every night they're doing this. So that's why I say, if you want to trade, wait for 3 a.m. in the morning, just come in and see 1 hour in the market, do a CCRY, just buy. I mean, can't be that wrong, but it's been there for long enough. Okay. So what is happening right now, because the S&P is still at new record high, it's a muted session ahead of key inflation data. So everybody is just waiting for the corporate earnings come in and watching the inflation data. So overall, it's right. Intel dropped a little bit. Now, the NVIDIA came out pretty high after market close, was pretty good. But the VIX indicator is really, really incredible. For the last 4 days, it's been below 18. It's not seen since February 2020. So again, complacency, or no activity, or no one's involved in the market, or everybody is back to work. I don't know, right? But the thing is now, the thing is that we're going to have all the largest banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they're going to come out with their results. So of course, they should be okay. But Credit Suisse and the other bank that got hit, that one will be very careful already. So overall, we are just waiting for Federal Reserve speeches and obviously the inflation data, all right? Hey, sorry. All right, do note once again, Jerome Powell really wants it to be going above 2%. This is something that you must understand. Jerome Powell, what does he really want? Okay. And of course, in the market news right now, everybody is still waiting, and growth stock continue to go higher. Tech stock, okay, came down because why? If the inflation data comes in and is strong, obviously technology counter will be hit first. Okay, so NASDAQ is the reason why I need to be very careful on this. Okay, guys, we're going to go to the market right now. Let's stand by for the Hang Seng. Hang Seng going to open very, very soon. Yesterday, Hang Seng went down quite a fair bit, then it recovers. Today, the MLP is around here. The moving average is about 28,700. So Hang Seng should be able to open flat, slightly flat, unless there's some news from China talking about that. So let's look at this one right now. Hang Seng. Okay, Hang Seng should be opening soon. My personal take is that Hang Seng will basically open flat and then trade a little bit lower, all right, a little bit lower, all right, because Hang Seng is also very sensitive to the NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ pull off a little bit, right, Hang Seng will also be coming down. Okay, Hang Seng has just opened. Hang Seng has gapped up a little bit. So yesterday's closing was, let me just double check. Yesterday's closing was 28,479. Today open at 28,532. So as you can see right now, Hang Seng opening is actually above pivot 1. So how do I arrive with this? Now, if it's above OP, definitely above P1 is a buy, okay? But because the KSI is red in color, so the upside will be limited to KTR +1 to +3. So traders, you just need to take note of that. But if the market goes below P1, then of course that is 28,487. There will be some profit taking, but do note there's a very powerful support level here. This one is a very powerful support. You can see that it's been there for quite a while, and that's 28,316 level. So if the market comes down to 28,316, traders who are short, you consider to buy back some profit there, because you can see for 2 days, okay, it has been triggering it and rebounded almost very strongly. So it's a very powerful TSCB line. All right, TSCB is a very powerful indicator. Right, that's why this one must watch 28,316. Okay, traders, take note of that. Now at the moment now, you can see the lines are flickering because it's basically above OP and below OP, right? So I suspect the market will be a bit slow today, because everybody also waiting for the inflationary data. Okay, so traders just stand by for that. Yes, I'll cover Shanghai later. I mean, so-called A50, all right? I'll cover that. Okay, so let's do a short review on today. On yesterday's Dow, pretty flat, all you can say. The opening price is between the two pivot, right? So as long as the KSI is green in color, so relatively say any CCRY, right? Any CCRY will be a buy in the market. So initially it went down below pivot 2, then after that it went back up again. So because the KSI is green, it's going to be very tough to go down when the KSI is green. As I've been saying this many times. So you can see over the whole entire day, there was really no movement from either side, because it never hit KTR -1. It just basically flickering around the pivot point. So it's really not moving. It's only the last 1 hour I told you, right? Then you can see it's a BMB here. Then you can see there's a KSI jump. So the boys really came in to buy. and BNB followed by with CCRY, BNB, color change, trigger, pivot 2, definitely based on our rules of buy. Can you see that? And of course, the KSI is green and it's a KSI jump, so it's a strong buy over there. So that was the only great trade. The rest itself, I cannot see any possible good trade. So that's why KSI jump is a very, very powerful signal. All right, I've been seeing this enough time. I think Susan has done a great job to inform you guys, and you have seen this many times, right? So if you think that KSI jump, you have seen its merit, and you think it's quite consistent, can you key the word KSI jump? KSI jump. If you think that KSI jump is very consistent, is able to give you a good feel of the market, right? Please key the word KSI jump right now into the group chat. Now, only if you feel that way, of course. All right, Hang Seng is trading a little bit lower. I think it'll be flat for today until unless, of course, there's something that I observe in trading for so many years is that if let's say for Hang Seng the last half an hour or so, maybe it's about 3:30 to 4:15, right? Around there, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. If you see Hang Seng do a little bit of big movement, then maybe there's some leakage on the data tonight. Maybe I'm just speculating it. All right, guys, thank you so much for your KSI jump sharing. Indeed, you can see that it does. So many people actually agree on that. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so let's just look at the market as a whole right now. Okay, Hang Seng is still fidgeting around the opening price, so I'll just give it a miss first. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones yesterday is a doji, so obviously today we do expect to be a bit of directional move, but you can see over here, yesterday the Dow came down the MLP and brilliantly recovered. That's why the MLP is so powerful, okay? So for today, the MLP is very tight, so obviously if the market cannot stay above the MLP, we should see some profit taking, okay? At the moment now, you can see the market it's quite a struggle. I mean, it's still going up, but it's seemingly struggling to go higher. So I cannot deny that, right? If the market stays below MLP for today, then there will be some profit taking on the Dow Jones. It is possible. But because the way the market is trending up, right, it's very hard to call for a sell-off right now because it is, by technical, it's still pretty strong. And MA-wise is 33,160. So current price is 33,749. So it's like 500 points away. So, I don't mind taking a short position with a stop loss that's nearby. So if I lose, I lose the small range. But if I make about 500 points. So this is the risk-reward ratio, but it's taking a little bit gamble here because there's no technical at this moment, at least for conventional chart. Later on, we see the TWB chart, see whether can we get something out of there. Right, in terms of the all-time high level, I think yesterday we missed the all-time high by 8 points. The all-time high is now standing at 33,810. Okay, we just missed it by 8 points. Okay, so well, that means that still the same around the 32,120 is the 5% level. Weekly chart wise is still moving up, but this time around the degree of the moving is like about 35 degrees angle, and usually it's about 35 degrees. I always tell traders be careful. Now, FYI, I believe gold price has came down. The gold price is down to 1728 level. It broke the important level I told you guys. It's testing it right now. 1729 yesterday. So traders on gold, watch it over there, okay? All right, so yeah, here we go. Okay, so now let's just look back at the Dow today in the day chart. Now for Dow day chart, we are still seeing pretty the same thing. Opening price between the two pivots and the KSI is green in color. So simple, let's just go simple. If the market goes above OP, it is a very good chance you may test 33,912 and that will be an all-time high level again. If the market goes below OP and tests below pivot 2, that's 33,713, it's very nearby. It is very possible. But again, the KSI is green in color. So shall the market go to KTR -1 to -3, do expect there will be intermittent buyout from that point. If the market do a CCRY and hit the KTR -1 to -3, I believe that market will recover. So do note, once again, if the market hit any of this KTR level, -1 to -3, watch out for CCRY. Most likely the market will rebound. Okay, so this one I have to remind you many times because some traders, they may, when they see market coming down, they will all pan up, right? They may want to sell it heavy and then they get hit over there. So just make sure that there's a time for everything. At the moment now, the bulls are controlling it. We just have to wait. But of course, you can see that when the market bulls start to go a bit sideways, then you do see the market basically, may go into some profit taking later. That's later. But at the moment now, unless you're taking the risk of selling something first with the stop loss very nearby, you can try your luck. In fact, it's nothing to do with technique, but luck. Then make sure that your risk reward ratio is worth it. If it's going to be worth it, then the pun makes sense. If it doesn't worth it, then it's pointless already. Okay. All right. So I'm just sharing with you my personal take. All right, so that is the Dow Jones. Let's look at the NASDAQ right now. The NASDAQ, wow, you can see that it's really holding at the level at 13,820. So I have nothing much to say, but interestingly, doji for the second day in a row. So for two doji in a row, that means we do expect to see some form of bigger movement coming in, right? Two doji in a row, okay? So from the way you look at it itself, right? The last time we see something like this, where the doji come in, the opening price is very critical. If the opening price stays, if the market stays above opening price, of course, to see the Dow going higher is very possible. NASDAQ going higher is possible. But if the market stay below the OP, right, then of course there will be a big directional move. Because the last time we see something like this itself, we do see directional move, right? So traders do watch out for the OP or the NASDAQ. If the market stay below, OP, on the NASDAQ, likely there should be profit taking coming soon, okay? And of course, I say the CPA number will not be kind, and if that happens, then obviously NASDAQ will also take profit on this point, okay? So NASDAQ wise, in terms of chart, it's still pretty far away from the MA30, so a little bit no much concern. To short is just to take quick profit. This is my personal advice for short sellers, okay? All right, so that's S&P. Look at let's go back to the market again. On the NASDAQ has just tested the pivot 2 at 13,822. So do understand this. If the market do break 822, there could be some selling in the NASDAQ. Okay. S&P 500, well, we can see very clearly for S&P 500, it is still climbing up. And I told you guys yesterday that MLP was around here and the market brilliantly stopped there and recovered. That's why the MLP is so powerful. So for today, the MLP is slightly above 41.26 level. So we are nearby. So traders, again, you can be standby for this. Okay. All right. So in terms of the long-term chart S&P, this is my megaphone. So you can see that the degree is really ridiculous now. It's at 35 degrees. And usually when this happens, it doesn't end well, at least for the next few weeks. So traders, be just very careful on the S&P 500. Okay. All right, so let's just look at the Hong Kong right now. Okay, let's quick one on Hong Kong. Hong Kong has moved up. Okay, Hong Kong has moved up. As I say, above OP, above pivot 1. Usually the market will be more towards the upside, right? So you can see now Hong Kong is moving higher at the moment right now. China A50, let's take a look. Well, China A50 is also moving up. That's why you can see both China and Hong Kong shares are moving up. All right, so at the moment now, China A50 is up above opening price. So that is the one that's pushing up the Hang Seng higher. But you can see it's still below the two moving averages. So as long as the market stays above OP, the recovery is possible. The technical recovery is possible. But if the market goes below OP for the Chinese stock market, I still believe that you go and test this point here. And this point is about 16,666 level, around there. Okay, so traders, just take note of that. All right, you just need to be very careful on this. Okay, so I covered that. Oops, sorry, I forgot to do DAX. Okay, DAX. Now DAX wise, you can see, well, it's just sticking like the MLP, just like like a satay stick like that. Okay, the MLP yesterday, the market opened below MLP and it went above MLP, so that's why it's there. Today MLP is slightly lower, about 15,229. So this level, 15,300, have been a very strong resistance for the DAX. So, but of course, if it stays up, then the moving averages, obviously by mathematics, will go higher. Hence, therefore, right, it's getting closer. If there's going to be any form of pullback, the MA30 will be a very strong buy signal at 14,860. So traders, if the DAX ever, okay, because of whatever reason, bring down, all right, do watch out for the MA30. It could be a very good buy over here, okay? It could be a very good buy over here. And if the market recover, you can see the DAX going new high again. But of course, if the market breaks below the MA30, then of course there might be some profit taking. that is something that not really expected. All right, so traders for DEX do stand by for this. Okay, so that is DEX. Gold basically was pretty sideways the entire day, but towards the end, there was some profit taking. So why is that so? Because the CPI data, if it's going up, right, naturally the dollar will be moving a bit higher. And that is why you can see this happening. Now, let's just bring the latest update on the dollar right now. Well, the dollar, there's some movement on the dollar at the moment, but you look carefully, if you look carefully, the last few days, the dollar have been pretty sideways, but there's a base at about 92 level. So if the CPI numbers is high this today, then of course the dollar will recover. And if that happens, obviously the gold prices may be going down a little bit more. Right, in terms of the 10-year yields, you can see that it's creeping up again because, again, the same thing, the CPI numbers is up, so obviously the 10-year yield will move up. So on last Friday, when the yield was 1.629%, now it's up to 1.678%. So traders, you can see that it's actually moving up. So big fundamental like this, if you are buying in anticipation, that means that they do know that today's CPI number might be a bit higher than expectation. So traders, please take note of that. So for now, you can also see that gold prices, again, the 2 days ago, it was looking at bullishness. Today it's bearish again because gold came off. Okay. So now it's saying that there's some bearish outlook in gold and there's some resistance, some ceiling in gold. And they say that, right, it may be dovish because of the dollar as strong. So, it's always like that. Like when market is down, they have things to tell you, up to tell you. So that's why I really don't bother by news. Okay. Well, so let's see yesterday's gold. Now, yesterday gold was pretty clear. The opening price was between two pivot, right? But because the KSI was red in color, so naturally the downside is higher chance, and indeed it happened. So the opening price was 1743, and the pivot 2 was 1728. Sorry. So I told you guys the gold will come down, right? I did say that gold will come down to 1729 level. So those who remember that I say gold will come down. All right, can you key the word correct? CORRECT. All right, if you remember that I tell you gold will come down to 1728.98, which is a pivot 2 yesterday. If you remember that, please key the word correct. CORRECT. All right, thank you very much. All right, if you remember if you don't remember, it's okay. Don't write things because you just do that. Okay, make sure you write it because you remember that I said that before. Okay, the Hang Seng is now trading higher. The Hang Seng now is actually trading higher now. Okay, it's trading at this at the price of let me take a look at the 28,600 level. Okay, all right. Okay, so thank you guys. Right, if you remember that I actually said that gold will come down to this 1729 level, and it really happened, right? That'd be good. Okay, all right. So indeed. So this is why we really need to have the KSI. Once you have the KSI, you already know what to expect in the market as long as the market moves. So once it moves, right, if it stays above OP, then that means that if you want to buy, be careful. If you want to short, wait for it to go higher. Now, if the market goes below OP, then it is in line with the KSI, right? Then you know that it will go to the next level, and the next level happened to be pivot 2, right? So you aim over there. So that is how it works. Right, basically, as long as you write this plan, your game plan, you write it down properly, you'll know exactly what to do. All right, so that's why yesterday, for those who traded with me in gold, we actually made money on this. Thank you guys. Thank you for your saying that I'm correct. Okay, so you can see for gold, the entire day was moving sideways, but once it hit the OP, now touch OP and pullback is a very classical sign that boys is coming in. And of course, you can see after that, the gold prices come all the way down to trigger the pivot 2. So you see like a magnet, right? Once it loses the key technical point, that's it. That's why the market, when it breached the intraday TSCB level and breaches 1736, the price of gold just slammed all the way down. So some of us have bought back gold, right? I told you guys to buy back about 1730 to 1729. I'm sure people who have followed through were all made money in gold yesterday. All right, congratulations to you. So let's see now what can we do for gold today. Now gold just now came off, but it tested the MA and it rebounded. So you see it went up to 1729, the level I mentioned, and now it rebounded again. So this 1729 seemingly a very, very important and powerful trend line to watch out. Okay, so it hit 1729 and the gold rebounded. So that's why you can see now gold is trying to recover. Okay, 1729, very strong support level. So guys, 1729, as long gold stay above 1729, gold should still be able to be able to go up lah. But if gold basically close below 1729, then there will be some trouble. Okay, so make sure that the market has to trades below 1729 for further downside. Now the downside, I told you guys, most likely this chocolate bar looks very delicious. So what will happen is that if the market it happen, it'll be here. So that is about 1709 level. Wait, now let me just double check the figure again. 07, my friend, sorry. That means that if let's say gold do ever come down fast, gold has the potential to drive down all the way to 1707 level, okay? 1707 level, okay? All right, take note of that. Okay, the Hang Seng is still trading higher, 28,642. And I did mention to you guys that, when the market, see the MLP, it broke above MLP, that's why it's going back up again. And I did mention to you today, for this Hang Seng is trading above pivot 1. So do note it's above pivot 1, that's why the market is up, right? When the market is above pivot 1 and above OP, the market in general will be up. Until it goes below pivot 1, then the selling will come in. If not, please do not, jump in just like that, okay? You must know what to do, Don't just blindly jump in the market without doing your homework, okay? Very, very important. Okay, so that is the gold chart as I mentioned to you. Now, this is the KFC indicator, All right, so today when it finished the high of yesterday, will be a very important technical point to watch out for. The high of yesterday was 1744.93. So what I'm trying to say is that if gold were to go up, it has to stay above 1744.93 for it to stay up. So if gold go above this point, gold can go much higher, okay? This is what my KFC indicator tells me. But if gold basically stays below 1744.93, then gold chances of going down is going to be very high. So that's why this number 1744.93 will be an interesting level to watch. So if you miss what is this KFC indicator all about, right, go to our TWB revision class and go out for this particular video called the Gold Nugget. All right, at the second part of it, I'll explain to you about what is this KFC indicator all about. Okay, all right, it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken. That is very important. Okay, okay, so I give you a very important level to watch out for already. Okay, so let's look at the gold market today. So for gold today, excuse me, the opening price today is between the two pivot once again. KSI is still red in color. So above OP, there is a chance for it to go above, go up to 1751. All right, of course, that is the CPN number is actually very low for some reason. Okay, then of course the whole thing will change. I repeat, if the CPN number happen to be very low, then the whole thing will change. So that's why there is a possibility. If they want to manipulate this, it's very, very possible. So if the market goes below OP, then coming down to 1724 will be a possibility for the gold market. Now, do note the next TSCB is a 1717, so that is another level to watch out for. And I repeat to you, right, the chocolate bar is at 1707. That is the chocolate bar level, right? So traders, you need to watch out for this 1707 level, all right? Something to watch out for gold. Okay, all right, so that will be for gold. So silver wise, as I mentioned to you, for silver, as long gold goes up, silver follow through. Yesterday gold came down, silver came down. So it's pretty in line, all right? So nothing have much change for this. So I strongly believe that if if gold breaks below 1729, silver will follow through. Okay, all right, so that is the gold sharing. Let's go at Bitcoin. Now, yesterday Bitcoin, we have 4 good trades. One very powerful one. The second one in the back. Then we have one big loss, one loss here itself. So overall, yesterday we still profited. Now this is the our traders that are doing that. So in total, they use a capital about range about 4,000 Seng, and then they trade with the risk of about $200 to $300, and they made about $179 after one whole day of trading now. Now, of course, there's win, there's losses, but end of the day is that they make money. That is very important. When you make, and by the end of the day, you make money. That is the most important thing. All right. So that is our trader. So yesterday for Bitcoin, you can see that it's overall, pretty sideways from opening to closing, in fact. But if you can make such a money by end of the day, I think it's pretty decent. All right. So traders, that is why you need to remember that our system really, really works. Okay. All right. So now we come to the end of today's morning MAO, the fun part. We could go to the second part. The second part is about, as I mentioned to you, the second part is the alternate market views. So if you want to stay on, please wait for 10 seconds. Those who want to leave now, you can actually exit right now. Now, every trade of here, every trader all got stop loss on. TP and stop loss all embedded. Yeah. Okay, let's just continue. All right, this is from Northern Trader. Well, good to see him back again. Now, this is the advanced decline line. That means that how many advance versus how many decline on an everyday basis. Now, what he's trying to explain here itself, I think you can see very clearly. Excuse me. Sorry, yeah. You can see that there is whereby the advance and decline was actually declining in a way. That means there's a bit of divergence against the cash market. You can see that after that, the NASDAQ did come off. Okay. All right. If the market is actually going in line, whereby you can see that the advance decline is going upwards, that's why the market is still positive. So what Norman Trader is trying to say is that now the advance and decline is actually again lowering. And this time round itself, right, the market apparently seems to be also a bit of sideways. So he's saying that, right, that seems to be not a very good sign. So if let's say the inflation data comes in and is terrible, and if this data, if this D line breaks down, right, then of course there is a potential of a pullback on the NASDAQ lah. So that is what he's trying to explain here from the chart wise, okay, for using the NAAD, all right, chart, okay. Then of course we talked about this, another oscillator by another individual sharing, and just sharing with you anyway. It's called the Maxillin. I think that's how to pronounce it. I'm wrong. I apologize, I'm wrong. It's a market breadth indicator used for TAA on the New York Stock Exchange to balance between the advanced and declining stocks. So something similar like what you saw earlier. So this indicator shows that when the market is actually doing a strong uptick over here, you can see that this is how the NASDAQ went up. But recently, ever since this junction here, the market seemed to have quickly taken profit. Now, although the market recovers, you can see a strong W, but the summation of this doesn't show very well. So again, it seems that the buying is artificial. And if the market breaches some technical point, the selling might be terrible. So that's why I repeat, the inflation data, so you have to watch NASDAQ carefully. If the data is bad, NASDAQ will be hit. And if NASDAQ is hit, right, then Hong Kong will also be hit at the same time. All right, this is something that to take note of, okay? All right. And this one here itself. Now look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 and the high yield bonds are actually very closely tied to one another, right? Like stick to a glue. But recently in February this year, the HYG is actually moving away from the S&P. Now, why is that so? Obviously, it's how the bond price has came off. That's why it's not able to buy in exuberance together. So what does it tell you? That means that the market has chosen one side. And when the market chooses one side itself, right, eventually there will be a point whereby when this spread get too far away, there will be a point at the pullback again. So at the moment now, the S&P spread with the HYG is actually very far away. In fact, this is the widest ever. So there is a small possibility that the market may pull in together. It's a small possibility, okay? So, well, either the bond price goes up or the S&P pulls in. So there is a one way or the other. So traders, you just have to watch out for that, okay? And last but not least, this is something very interesting. This is the gold and Bitcoin co-relationship. Okay, so it seems to be for the last many years. Every time when this indicator hit about this point here, you notice that, right? That is where usually the gold price will go higher and Bitcoin will come off lah. So would that mean that Bitcoin should be coming off soon? Well, based on the indicator, it is a possibility. So that's why for Bitcoin trading, right, we still want you to trade, but just maybe let's watch carefully. If there's going to be any turbulence coming in and stuff, right, you can just lower down. And maybe is it because it's time to tell you that, right, maybe Yellen is going to do something very soon, and then, or, you know, Christine Lagarde doing that. So that's why you may see by chance the technical may really prove itself and then bring the gold higher and Bitcoin go lower. Well, based on chart, the last 7 years, it seems to be that is a possibility, but of course it's a very long-term chart. So maybe, who knows, it may go lower first before the U-turn. I wouldn't know. All right. So anyway, I'm just sharing this with you, and hopefully you can get something out of this. Okay, guys. Okay, that will be all for today's MAO. All right, that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this session. And at 2 p.m., I will see you guys. Remember, there'll be a very good sharing. You're going to be a good trader. You really want to be around. Okay, so please, all right, see you guys at 2 p.m. This is Cal signing off. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye.